there are different starting points, and so I want to be able to help them take the next steps and not fall behind or not feel like they're ahead of everybody else. I kind of want to get everybody together. Hello, confirmation families. This is Steve here. I wanted to check in with you and talk a little bit about one of the forms that you would have received at the confirmation meeting. That would be the individual confirmation plan. This right here is what it says it is. It's a basic form where I can kind of have the students take an inventory of where they are in their faith journey. And we'll discuss that because, I've got like 25, 26, 27 students right now, and they're at 25, 26, 27 different places in their faith walk. And so even though we're giving them a lot of the same information, there are different starting points. And so I want to be able to help them take the next steps and not fall behind or not feel like they're ahead of everybody else. I kind of want to get everybody together. And so what this does is this helps give me a snapshot of where they are. And what we'll do is I will have the students spend some time with this. I would suggest it in prayer, but certainly maybe some quiet time and just read through it and answer the questions to the best of their ability. We're going to go through the questions in a second, and what this does, this gives us a discussion point for our interviews, which I'm scheduling right now. About half of the confirmandi have signed up. In the email that announces this video, I will attach the current schedule and ask people to try and get those scheduled as soon as possible. They start next week, the week of September 25th, and they run for about 3 weeks. So I'd like to get these done by mid-October if at all possible. So on here, there's a number of questions, and some of them may seem like, why are you asking that? But there's a reason for all the things that are on here. And so the very first question is, it says, at which parish was I baptized? Okay, the reason I need to know that is, one, it's good for you to know because you know that that's your parish of record. But also, I need to get an original copy of the baptismal record for each student. And this is literally a 3-minute phone call to your parish of record where your child was baptized. And so what you do is you call them up, say, hey, my child, John Smith, was baptized there in approximately what year? And what they'll do is they'll go in their records, look it up, they'll fill out a form, the priest will sign it, they'll put the stamp of the parish, which is an embossed raised letter type of thing, and then they send that to me. So basically all you have to do is call the parish, say I need this, and they'll send it to me. Okay, just give them my address. And my address will be in my signature down below in the email. I'll also put it in the video notes as well. And so then the next question says, some possible choices for my confirmation saint are. And so this is to get you thinking about who your confirmation saint is going to be. And like I often tell people, I think that the saint actually picks us versus us picking them. And you would have heard my story about me picking my confirmation saint, but my formation in the 70s was so poor that they basically came to me and said, who's your confirmation saint going to be? And I said, what's a saint? There had been no formation really about that, or if there was, it certainly wasn't anything for me to kind of take notice of and remember. And so I said, well, is there a saint named Stephen? And they go, yep. And I'm going, that's my guy. And that's it. That's how I picked my saint, or how my saint picked me. But I don't want the students to have that kind of formation. I want them much better. And I think maybe that's why I feel so strongly about teaching about the saints. So anyway, so this is the time to start thinking about that and doing research. And we'll talk a little bit about that and where you're at when we're at the interview. There's a couple of blanks here that then talk about where you are in your faith journey. It says, I am currently practicing the Catholic faith in these ways. Just list what you're doing. I'm going to Mass. We're saying meal prayer, whatever it happens to be. I'm praying intentions for people when they're sick. And whatever it happens to be, just list those things. And then it says, in describing my relationship with Jesus Christ, I would say this. And this idea about a relationship with Christ, it's basically like if you're going to have a relationship with a person, what are the things you do to do that, right? You spend time with them, you talk with them, maybe you share a meal with them, those types of things. How are you experiencing that with Jesus Christ is what I want you to kind of take note of in that blank. The next question says, do I know what confirmation really is? And then here's what it means for me to receive the sacrament of confirmation. Again, I'm just taking inventory of kind of where the students are at and what they think confirmation is. On the back side, it says, here are some of my future plans, and here's how I see my faith guiding me in the years to come. again, as a freshman in high school, or even, young, sophomore in high school, they may not know what their future plans are. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, right? But, I didn't decide till my third year of college that I was going to go into cartography, okay? And right now I'm not even working in cartography. I'm doing youth ministry. So, this idea about what are some of my future plans, why I'm asking that is because I want the students to think about, not just, what career they're going to be in, but what are they going to do with their faith? What are their plans? And sometimes the career they're picking might help them choose their confirmation saint. Like, so I want to be a teacher. Well, who's the confirmation saint or the patron saint of teachers, right? Or one of the patron saints of teachers. Or if I want to be a nurse, who's the patron saint of being a nurse? Those types of things might help us, make other decisions in our lives. The next question is very important, especially now. It says, I'm considering these people to be my confirmation sponsor. Okay, right now we're in like mid to late September. In mid-November, you need to have your confirmation sponsor chosen because your sponsor needs to attend a meeting with you at one of the two parishes on November 12th at St. Mary Goretti or November 19th at St. Andrew Parish, St. Christopher Parish, St. Andrew's site. And so they need to be there so that you can start doing your prep with your sponsor. And we'll talk more about that at that meeting, about what that entails. The next question says, one or two things I would like to do to take the next step in my faith journey are. I think all of us kind of say things like, well, if I could just start doing this, maybe my faith would change. Or here's something I really want to do, I just don't know how to start. Those are the types of things to list there. And maybe I can give you some suggestions on how to start that. This confirmation process is a really good opportunity to start doing some of those things. It says some ideas I have for my service hours and God project are these. Service hours are simple. We're asking each student to do 15 hours of service each year. There's a form for that just to kind of take it with you and get it signed by whoever's in charge of the activity. A God project is typically a second year thing, but if somebody really had a project they wanted to do over time, we could talk about that as well. So you're asking, what's a God project? I've got a whole nother video on that, and I will put the link in the description below. All right. The last question is a kind of a basic question. It says, here are some questions I have about confirmation and or the Catholic faith. Here's your chance to just kind of brainstorm some questions. I don't understand what this means. I don't know what's going on. Why is this the way it is? Those are some good things to be thinking about. We should be thinking about that at all levels of our faith development. So anyway, I just wanted to give you that heads up on that. This needs to be completed, like I said, for the interview. And this will be the basis of our discussion of about a 15, 20, 25-minute discussion. And so, spend some time with it and just come ready to talk about some of these things. I'm here to help out. If you have any other questions, just let me know. I look forward to working with you, and we'll see you soon. God bless.